Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a highly focused, guided tour through the rapidly changing landscape of digital money. I mean, the financial world is transforming at breakneck speed, right? We're trading heavy physical bank vaults for lightning-fast digital networks. So get comfortable because we're going to demystify this whole ecosystem and see exactly what it means for your wallet. But before we get into the nuts and bolts, just think about your morning for a second. Did you use fintech to buy your coffee today? Because if you tapped a mobile wallet, shopped online, or even just glanced at a banking app on your phone, you are already an active player in this revolution. It's literally woven right into our daily routines. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. First, what is fintech? Second, the evolution of finance. Third, inside the fintech ecosystem. Fourth, the engine, AI and blockchain. Fifth, real impact and risks. And finally, number 6, the future of finance. So, starting off with Section 1, what exactly is fintech? Well, the word itself is just a simple mashup of financial and technology. But in practice, it's about totally shattering the old model of physical bank branches and endless manual paperwork. By using things like cloud computing, APIs, and mobile apps, fintech creates an environment where financial services are faster, radically cheaper, and honestly, highly personalized just for you. Moving right along to Section 2, the evolution of finance. Now, this wasn't just some overnight phenomenon. Back in the 20th century, we kicked things off with ATMs and credit cards, which was really our first attempt to cut our dependence on physical cash. Then, by the 90s and 2000s, internet banking let us actually pay bills from a desktop computer. After that came the smartphone era, literally putting a bank right in our pockets. And today, well, we've evolved from simply digitizing cash to creating fully intelligent digital services driven by AI and blockchain. To really appreciate this massive leap, just remember the old way of doing things. You had to physically visit a bank branch during their highly restrictive hours, fill out a mountain of paperwork by hand, wait days for processing, and eventually just hope a confirmation letter showed up in the mail. The contrast between that agonizing ritual and today's instant 24/7 zero-friction digital payments is just staggering. Let's zoom in a bit for Section 3, inside the fintech ecosystem. When people hear the word fintech, they usually just picture digital wallets, but it is actually a massive interconnected web. I mean, we have neobanks operating entirely without physical branches. Alternative lending is using behavioral data, not just those outdated credit scores, to approve loans in literally seconds. We've got investment tech putting robo-advisors in your pocket, insurtech automating insurance claims, and regtech using AI to help massive institutions navigate super complex global laws. It's the whole shebang. Which brings us to the engine room in Section 4, the engine, AI and blockchain. Artificial intelligence is arguably the heartbeat of modern fintech architecture. AI thrives on digesting massive data sets in mere milliseconds. It's the invisible guard dog powering fraud detection, it's the brain behind machine learning credit scoring, and it's the voice of 24/7 customer service chatbots. And this brilliantly illustrates how technology isn't just automating old tasks, it's actually learning and adapting to make your money safer and much smarter. Right next to AI, we have blockchain. By acting as a distributed digital ledger, blockchain effectively fires the middleman. Transactions verify themselves without even needing a central bank. This paves the way for self-executing smart contracts and something called tokenization. Just imagine taking a physical asset, like a giant commercial skyscraper or piece of fine art, and turning it into digital tokens on a blockchain. It makes buying, selling, and trading fractions of that asset incredibly easy. Now, when you combine these advanced technologies, you get one of the biggest trends out there today, embedded finance. This is all about integrating financial services directly into a non-financial customer experience. About your last online shopping trip, right at checkout, without ever leaving the store's app, you are probably offered a buy now, pay later plan or some instant purchase protection, right? The banking service is completely invisible. It just lives right inside the platforms you already use every day. Let's slow things down a bit for Section 5, real impact and hidden risks. All of this rapid disruption is a classic double-edged sword. On the one hand, fintech is driving absolutely incredible global financial inclusion, giving unbanked populations instant access right through their smartphones. It slashes operating costs and empowers small businesses to compete on a global scale. But there is a darker side. A purely digital ecosystem invites immense cybersecurity threats and account takeovers. And with algorithms tracking our every single purchase, data privacy is a mounting concern, which creates a huge, complex nightmare for regulatory compliance. Despite those risks, though, the global impact is just undeniable. We are currently witnessing something called financial leapfrogging. In many developing economies, traditional infrastructure, like physical bank branches or ATM networks, simply doesn't exist. But rather than waiting decades to build all that out, entire populations are using their smartphones to leapfrog straight into formal mobile-first financial systems. They are literally bypassing the 20th century banking model altogether. How wild is that? Finally, let's zoom back out and look at the horizon in Section 6, the future of finance. A lot of headlines love to frame this as a war, traditional banks versus fintech companies. But consider their contrasting strengths for a second. Legacy banks have massive capital, established trust, and the heavy regulatory licenses. Fintechs, on the other hand, bring lightning-fast innovation, a flawless user experience, and real product flexibility. So the crucial point is that this isn't a zero-sum game. The future of finance really belongs to deep, strategic partnerships between these two, blending those deep pockets with rapid, agile innovation. And honestly, these partnerships are absolutely mandatory because of us, the consumers. Our demands have fundamentally shifted. We just don't want to wait anymore. We expect finance to be fast, simple, entirely digital, hyper-personalized, and flawlessly secure. These intense expectations are like a gravitational pull, basically forcing every single financial institution on Earth to either continuously innovate or just fade into irrelevance. This massive shift isn't just changing the apps on our phones, it is completely rewriting financial careers. Enter the hybrid professional. It's no longer enough to just know traditional accounting or auditing. To survive in this new landscape, human roles are evolving. Future financial jobs demand that workers blend their core traditional finance expertise with strong technology skills, like AI and data analytics. It's a whole new ballgame. We've covered a tremendous amount of ground today, from the birth of the ATM to invisible embedded finance. But as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a thought. As our financial lives become entirely digital, faster, and more convenient than ever, are you prepared to navigate the new borders of your own data privacy? Understanding fintech isn't just for Wall Street anymore. It is absolutely essential for all of us. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep exploring.